Well, certainly, I don't think we ever talk about length that much. We don't really talk about 30 seconds. We talk about, okay, how we're going to make video that's going to be able to be multi-purposed across many different platforms. One of which will be television, one of which will be in 30 seconds. But I think a lot of us are trying to find out what is the new format. Is it 30 seconds or is it 10 seconds or is it 2 minutes? And I think we're really stretching out to find out what is the right kind of engagement for the customer. So for us, with a client in particular right now, I mean, it's a real arc to try to work out how to manage their production budgets. Because, it's a lot of money to go produce a 2-minute film sometimes. Or actually, it's not a lot of money, depending on what sort of levels of comfort you've got in terms of, okay, we're going to push this out, it's going to be immediate, we're going to take it back down, it's not there to go run in the Super Bowl. So I think it's really an ongoing conversation with the client right now about, okay, what are our expectations, how are we going to multi-purpose the content, and then what are our realistic production budgets today? Because they're not what they were. I mean, certainly production budgets are coming down, and they've got to be used in a very different way. And some of the productions that we're doing are much cheaper than we've ever done before, and a lot of them are user-generated too. So I'll say it's different. Well, what I would say is we've won a lot of businesses, particularly in the US in the last 2 years. I think we've been in 22 pitches. I think we won 19 of them. And what's interesting about that is it wasn't about the work as much as what it used to be. So it was much more about how do you work, how do you uncover insights, where do we get knowledge? And I think clients are looking for a new way to work and to find answers because, I mean, they're very stretched internally at the client side. So they're looking for partners who can help proactively give them knowledge about where they should go. And I think for great creative agencies, I mean, I've been a part of 2 of them, BBDO, now TBWA, they expect great creative out of us. That's like table stakes for us. So now what it's all about is how can you be my knowledge engine? How can you give me real insight? How can you use data? How can you use it really fast? And how can we act immediately on that? And how can we do it proactively and get ahead of that? So we've really had to up our skills in hiring people that are from different fields. So we've hired a lot of people, believe it or not, out of national security, out of Wall Street. So there's different people that you're hiring that are coming out of different fields. Hired a lot of journalists because they're really good at curating stories and they're very good at insight, and so they're very good at working out sort of an insight in terms of where an audience is going. So the fight for talent is really, really high, and what it's replacing is sort of a service culture, much more into a knowledge culture. So a lot of our agencies, big ones, were built off taking one client around the world in 87 countries, and it was very much a sort of a replicate model. Now it's much more fewer places, where's the knowledge, how do we turn that into content either quickly or dynamically, and so the talent war is huge actually. We talk a lot about being the cultural engine at our agency, and there are a couple of real touch points that happen we all felt the tension over the last year or so, not just in America, in a lot of places, whether it's Brexit, whether it's in Istanbul, you name it. I mean, we've all sort of felt it in Germany. So the Apple film that we did over the holiday period, I think was a very interesting one because it really was about people who are different coming together and how do we come together as a sort of almost like a broader community. And I thought that was incredibly timely and very, very impactful. I loved for Australia the ANZ campaign. It's a bank. We did a campaign around equal pay. So it was very much targeting for the female consumer, and it was a great campaign where we set up a scenario where there were children and they were doing tasks for pocket money, but they were paid differently, and we didn't tell them. So the girls got paid less than what the boys got paid, and it was amazing the impact that had. And we did place it on television, it ran everywhere, and it had a huge impression out there on the culture. So I think doing things that are culturally relevant, that are timely, that are about some of the tensions that are in society right now, they're the ones that are really hitting home. So definitely I'd say those types of films were the ones that have done us proud.